What's up? This is Jake with Hike 734, and it's been a while since I've blogged, but it's because I've been very busy. So while everything looks, quiet on the surface, there's been a lot of stuff happening beneath. And today I'm really excited because I finally get to announce to you my new project that I've actually been working on. It is the Day Hikes of Glacier National Park map guide. So I finally came out with a day hike guide. And if you're familiar with some of the other stuff that I've done, I came out last year with a map guide for driving the Going to the Sun road. And the formula for that is it's a map on one side, and on the other side it's a guide. And I really like that format because it's really easy to hold, to understand. Sometimes I think with a book things kind of get lost. And so anyways, I did that with my day hikes. I feel like that's kind of the formula that's been missing. So hopefully you'll get it and take a look at it, and it'll really help you with planning your trip. So let's walk through it a little bit. The first side is the map side, and on the map side there's this really cool topo map. The one really key technology that I want to draw your attention to is on the trails. I broke them up into sections and calculated the slope and then color coded them based upon difficulty. What does all that mean? Well, what that means is if you see green, it's mostly level. If you see yellow, it's starting to get a little bit of a grade to it. So, if you have to do yellow for all day, you're going to start to get tired. And then red means it's really steep. And so what that allowed me to do is you can just take a look at a trail and say, the reason why this is difficult is only the last little section, or hey, this thing's pretty up and down the whole way, or man, this thing's entirely level. So it gives you a really great visual way to go ahead and see the kind of gotchas of the trail. The other part is I added the distances between features or junctions. It depends upon if it's like a campground or between two trails. And I did that for any segment that's longer than a quarter of a mile. The reason why I did that is because of the size of the map. If I did all of them, there's times when it's just kind of jumbled up. And there's a few places that are crowded enough as it is. And if I would have added all that, it would have gotten crazy. But that's really helpful for you, where you can kind of see like, all right, well, I know this next section is 3.1 miles. So even if you don't use it as a day hikes guide, even an extended trip, it could be really valuable. The other thing is that I've included all 234 summits and high points on this map that are recognized by the Glacier Mountaineering Society. So any high point, if you're starting to check them all off, they're all on here. So that's kind of how I decided about which ones I should or should not put on there. But right next to the map itself on the map side is my order of hikes. And I think that's one of the really fun things about my guide. A lot of guides are encyclopedic in nature, meaning that they just tell you about hikes and say, well, this one's easy or hard. But in the list of easy ones that are located here, maybe in the Lake McDonald region, which ones should you hike? So I wanted to try and provide a little bit of my opinion on that. So it kind of would help you in a coin toss, say like, well, is Lincoln Lake worth hiking? Or should I hike Hidden Lake first, or whatever. So it's kind of difficult and it's really subjective, but I think most people would agree, maybe not within the difference between number 2 and number 4, but definitely if you've hiked both trail number 12 and trail number 60, you're going to agree that 12 should be a lot higher. So anyway, so hopefully that just gives you an idea, and in that section it tells you which region that trail is going to be in. I also included a couple labels, just little icons. One of them was, is it family friendly? Is it a good spring hike? And then also, is there a pit toilet or some other type of restroom along the way of the trail? And then finally, and this will kind of take us to the other side, is that it has the actual distance of the trail, and then also a little square that's color coded. So if you flip over the guide to the guide side, you can go ahead and see things like this side is broken up into distances, because I think that's probably the biggest factor that it plays into things, is not so much elevation gain, but mainly distance. People know, like, I'm a 0 to 5 mile hiker, I'm a 5 to 10, a 10 to 15, or a 15 plus. And so that's how I broke them up in that side. And so the color on the Jake's order of hikes will correspond to that. So within like the 0 to 5 mile hike, you'll see all the hikes listed out. in order, once again, of my order, but just in the 0 to 5 mile range. And then in there, it tells you the elevation, gain and loss for that trail. And then it also tells you what the distance is of that with a description that kind of gives you an idea of, like, you'll see waterfalls. It's mostly a hike in the trees. Just really good information like that that'll kind of help you make a decision. So, yeah, I mean, basically, it's kind of like having me giving you recommendations. And honestly, if you guys call me up and say, or write me an email and stuff and say, hey, Jake, which one should I hike? I'm honestly going to refer to that. And I'm not trying to, like, be all salesy, but because I can't remember all these. There are 88 hikes that I've identified. Some of them are, only a couple of them are really doubled up. If you're familiar with the Many Glacier area, if you hike to Fisher Cap Lake, it goes Fisher Cap Lake, Red Rock Lake, and then Falls, and then Bullhead Lake. And what I did was I said Fisher Cap Lake and Red Rock Falls, that's one hike, and then Bullhead Lake would be a second hike. But other than that, there's just a lot, there's a lot of Glacier to explore in a day. So go ahead and check out the guide. It's going to be shipping close to like the March 19th time frame. So right now it's all pre-order, and usually, what I do with this kind of stuff is that there's a discount, so you'll save like $2 if you go ahead and order now. So it's only $7.95, and then just a little bit for shipping and handling. So yeah, get it now. If you don't have my Going to the Sun Road driving guide, I have a little package called the Day Tripper package. So that's a little bit cheaper if you want to buy both of them together, and I can ship those out as well. But obviously that won't ship out until after I get the Day Hikes guidance. So anyways, that is my new project. I hope you're really excited about it. I am so stoked about getting it into your hands. Like the other guide, it's made of the, it's basically printed on a synthetic material, so it's waterproof and tear resistant. So it's something, especially for people that have like vacation rentals, you can go ahead and just keep that in there, and a lot of people can use it, and it's not really going to get, it's not going to disintegrate like a paper one would. So something great to throw in your pack or whatever. So anyways, that is my Day Hikes guide. I've got a lot of really fun blogs coming out here in the short term to get you used to, or to get you familiar with some of the hikes that you might not have gotten used to kind of back up and augment this. And I've got a kind of a fun little thing that I'm working on as well that'll be kind of an online deal. So anyways, I'm Jake with Hike 734. Please check out my Day Hikes guide, and thank you very much. More to come.